Hello, this is J.N.S, and I hope you all are having a excellent day, a great day to cover this topic. I just have been thinking about it a lot lately, and the topic is obviously what you see in the title, the science of auras and toroidal fields. And one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this topic is because, it's like we're in this time, we feel this shift. We feel these alternate realities emerging. We feel parallel universes colliding and whatnot, and that is due to mental states and states of consciousness. But as we feel that, we have to contend with our own personal auras, our own personal electromagnetic fields. And so it was very important to me. And while I am talking, I want to share like an example of what an aura is. So you can see, just give you a visual. I'll show more visuals as I continue to expound on this topic, but I'll continue. Anyways, we have to contend with our own electromagnetic fields. And I'm seeing a lot of people struggle with that, and including myself, and so I wanted to talk about it in a scientific sense and as well as obviously metaphysical, and in terms of what a aura is and what a toroidal field is. And so um, an aura essentially is a combination of your electromagnetic energy that radiates from your body. Now, this is a combination of light and heat. So it's photons and infrared rays, pretty much. That's the long and short of it. But it's an energy field, if we want to simplify it. It's an energy field that exists around everything. It consists of a frequency wave, pretty much. And so it's around people, it's around animals, it's around even non living things, believe it or not. Okay. And so it extends outside of your physical body. And it is a shield. It is an energy field that exchanges and processes communication signals. So pretty much radio waves and infrared rays. And so, when you get around someone and you could say, you instantly meet someone and you're like, I don't get a good vibe from that person, or that person's vibe is off, or they have a good vibe. You got good energy. I like your energy. That is their aura. Some people are gifted enough to see the color of the aura. Some people can actually see if the aura is green or red, or red sometimes can allude to some sort of anger issue, depending on the severity of the red color. You may see blue, purple. You may see a balance. Sometimes it can be yellow. So people can see an aura sometimes, but it's essentially the electromagnetic field that surrounds your body. Now, the toroidal field is similar to an extent, and that is it's measured from the heart rather, though. And the toroidal energetic field, it can be measured around 5 to 8 feet, generally speaking. There are people with less than that, and there are people with way more than that. And that extends from your heart. That's what the toroidal field extends from. And this can be measured. Like, this has been scientifically measured, that a toroidal energetic field can reach as far as uh, 5 miles or 5 to 8 feet for the average human. Or for some people, it's immeasurable depending on your state of consciousness, because we are all dealing with frequency. So it depends on how far your heart chakra is activated. How much do you move from the heart space instead of the mind? If you're move from the mind and the intellect, you're dealing more so with the ego, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're dealing with the heart, you're dealing more in the space of love and a space of flow. And so that allows the aura to extend farther. You're dealing with the intuitive space. And one is not necessarily better than the other. You need both in balance as far as the heart and mind. And so the aura, while the toroidal field, it comes from the heart, the aura extends from heart and mind. And so, depending on your state of consciousness, your thoughts that you think, the things you look at, the things you consume, can affect the aura, the energy around your environment. All of that can affect an aura. And so, as you can see, like in this picture, this is how. aura in a toroidal field looks. So you see the colors of the aura, and then you see the toroidal field around the aura. The toroidal field comes from the heart, aura comes from heart and mind. Okay. And so we're just looking at some pictures of what that looks like. So here's the toroidal field. This is what surrounds every human for the most part. And here's some, I'm trying to look for aura. Let's look at just auras and without the toroidal field. Okay. And so this is how the aura looks without the concept of the toroidal field. And this is based on the balancing of the energy wheels within the body, energy circuits rather, and those energy circuits are sometimes referred to as chakras and or nadis or even meridian points. And so these are layers of the aura. You obviously have your root chakra, which deals with um, your feelings of stability and groundedness. The root chakra also deals with base level matter. It roots you in your physical space. And so too much of the root chakra can lead you to very low vibrations, but root chakra it needs to be in balance in terms of feeling groundedness, and so that you are planted on human earth. If you are out of balance with the root chakra and say you're too much into, say, like the crown chakra, you can be in literally another dimension while on planet earth, and you'll be talking to someone and they think you just out of your mind. That's what happens with a lot of ascended masters who don't ground their root chakra. That has happened to me before, and that has happened with a lot of spiritual teachers who spend time in astral realms or different dimensions or have access to different parallel universes, and then they are still on planet Earth. That can happen. It's just an example of how it looks when it's unbalanced. If you have too much into the root chakra, you can have aggression, base level sex, animal desire, animal that type of energy. It can turn into a real low level. Believe it or not, a lot of the things that you see being promoted are geared towards the root chakra. Mostly everything on this planet, oops, didn't mean to do that, sorry, is geared towards the root chakra. Okay, so let's continue going up. Then you have the sacral chakra. That's right around the pelvic area. That's relates to your sexual organs, sensuality, your comfortability with yourself, and expression and acceptance. And I'm just going off the dome, but you may want to research. Always research these things, but you could research it for yourself. But let me just go back to where I was at, because I am just communicating this just from off of the top of my head. But the sacral chakra I know relates to acceptance of the self and confidence. And so that's the a lot of times when people have issues with a wound or wombs, or they feel uncomfortable with their sexuality, it could be some imbalance in the sacral chakra. Then you have your solar plexus, that's around the stomach area, that relates also to self-esteem. It relates to your sense of self-defense, your ability it regulates your fight or flight as well. And the solar plexus is very important because that's where your gut, your second brain rather, resides, where they call it the gut, your gut instinct. And so if the solar plexus is out of balance, you could find someone that is weak-willed, someone who doesn't have a lot of belief in themselves, or someone who doesn't stand up for themselves. And so the solar plexus chakra relates to around that stomach area. That's the energy will that has to be balanced out generally. And the heart chakra, obviously, next we have, yes, heart chakra. That obviously relates to your emotions, your emotional body, your intuition, self-love, self-care, your expression of the love manifested throughout the world. And when the heart chakra is in balance, you'll see resentment, anger, possible fear. And if it's in balance, you'll see broadness, the ability to set boundaries, and the ability to trust your instinct and to trust yourself. That's the heart chakra. You have your throat chakra. That's your communication center. Um, if it's in balance, you see some anxiety, not speaking up for yourself as well. um, not being able to voice your opinions, feeling shame about your voice, and insecure about the way you express yourself. That can also be affected when the throat chakra is out of balance. If it's in balance, you have no problem speaking up. You speak and you communicate effectively, and so that is the throat chakra. Then you have obviously your third eye chakra that relates to your intuition, your ability to utilize dormant aspects of your subconscious mind, autoconscious mind. And it generally it does get you towards more in the levels of higher consciousness. And this can relate to your psychic abilities as well. Now, again, any one of these energy wheels and circuits can be in balance, or that you can be a master at one and then weaken one energy wheel. And so while generally you would theoretically like them all to be in balance, it takes time, and so it takes time for one to get to balance out the third eye chakra. And when the third eye chakra is not in balance, you you can experience possession. It can manifest in bad habits such as drinking too much, or substance abuse. And again, I'm not judging, because I've been there, so I'm definitely not judging if that's where someone is at. I'm just saying that sometimes when a third eye chakra, sometimes you can have an open third eye chakra and still engage in substance abuse, and then that can open you up to um and tranquil spirits. So I'm not saying that you can't have that it's one or the other. It's a dichotomous thinking. I know for a fact that you can have a third eye, open third eye, and engage in psychedelics and whatnot. Sometimes the psychedelics can open your third eye. So I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that if it's super closed, if it's on the other case of the extreme and it never happens, then um, you can fall into escapism to experience alternate or higher realms of reality through substance abuse. Next, you have the crown chakra. Now, the crown chakra connects to your refers to your ability, rather, to feel interconnected with your surroundings in the highest state of what that means. So you're able to channel the energy for your auspicious self, so your higher self first and foremost. You have control over that. So that means that, say you're in an environment that may be negative, or you're planted in a situation where there's an energetic mismatch, you can always overcome it if the crown chakra is open, because you understand that all is connected, and that you are connected to the cosmos and to the Godhead, and you are one with the Creator God as a co-creator of your reality, and you have mastery over the faculties of your autoconscious, at least, or you're developing them. Even if you just get to 1%, believe it or not, you are pretty darn good, because most humans say you operate at 10% of your brain capacity. Say you get to 11%, is what I'm saying. Say you get to 12%. Say you get to 50%. Then you already become someone that can ascend quite considerably for what that means for yourself. You have mastery over yourself, and you have a better grasp over a reality. And obviously it comes with some pretty cool incentives in terms of psychic abilities, telekinesis, telepathy, um, astral projection, remote viewing, those type of the clairvoyance. It comes with that, and it comes and goes in phases. Like, you can maintain a state of vibration of transcendence at all times, or this state of awakening through a constant open crown chakra. Sure, you can. I don't doubt that. And what some people do, if they reach nirvana, or if they reach the crown chakra, they can decide to become a bodhisattva, which is what I did. You, instead of transcending over into nirvana or over into a different parallel universe, you would stay enlightened, but you would be on this planet to make sure that you would like to help other people. You would like to teach other people. So bodhisattvas generally do that. Ascended masters generally do that as well. And another aspect of it is you can become a rainbow body. There's a lot of Buddhist monks, if you guys can look this up, about the rainbow body, in which you read a certain state of consciousness through the crown chakra, where you literally, a rainbow comes around you, and they have stories of this. You can look this up. Let's see if we could find something. Let's see if we could Google rainbow body. Maybe we'll find some cool pictures. Rainbow body, Buddhist monk. So pretty much, this is rainbow body. You do die when you get rainbow body. I have felt this before. In 2022, no lie, I literally called one of my parents and literally told them, I said, I have the choice. I literally, and they thought I had, I don't know what they thought, but I said, I literally have the choice to go over into Nirvana, um, or stay here. And they was looking like, what? And I'm like, I literally, I never felt that in my life. I literally felt that, like, something, I just knew I had something that just hit, where it was just like, like they talk about how Siddhartha Gautama sat under the tree and, and did his little meditation or whatever. But mine came from a different path. I do have to admit it. I didn't, it was kind of the middle path, but more so or gory, because enlightenment can come through different paths, as we know. And so, well, mine came through the gory path, and I just was sitting one day, and I just I felt it. I said, I'm like, I can literally go over into this next realm and just be done. And, or I could stay here and teach, and become a bodhisattva and help in which other way I can, for those who want it, for those who would like and to come from a genuine space, though, as I'm still growing and whatnot. But I felt that, and I had made the phone call. I said, I can transition over. I said, it's coming soon. But I did resurrect. And there's proof of that resurrection. There is a group of people that know about that. I have not spoken out publicly about that, because I don't think it's time. But I do know that there are at least 100 people that know about it personally, based on what had happened. Because after that, unfortunately, when that had happened, I was being monitored as far as surveillance, your phone calls and all that stuff. And because I was, an activist heavily in the freedom fighter space for Black Americans, which obviously comes with surveillance, as we all know that. And then a writer, I was an author at that time. I think I had published like 10 books. And so authors and academics, they tend to, if they're in the activist space, you're automatically on the watch list. You know that. So I was, when that had happened, in terms of like this feeling of enlightenment and feeling like I can do the transition over or do the bodhisattva. I was given that choice. Like I was and then I had just called a parent, and I was talking like that. And I called a friend, was like, stuff going on, oh my gosh, it's so just going through, just esoteric knowledge. We were just talking about spiritual stuff, and next thing you know, a coven came after me. And I do think it was also a governmental agency, but they have like V2K. And I don't mean to, again, I'm not trying to sound like someone that's just off her rocker. This is just an esoteric conversation. This is what you deal with as a metaphysician, or if you're an esotericist, or if you're an occultist or spiritualist. It just is what it is. And those who know. And if you're listening to this and not ready for that conversation, then, I wish you well, but I'm not the person for you. But we know that they have these types of high level technologies that deal with. They have artificial telepathy that can do V2K, which is skull to voice technology. The government has that. They have all types of things. They have, people talk about these things all the time. People in that were former military, they come forward. They try to warn the public about what's going on, and nobody, listens. But nonetheless, believe it or not, they do use that technology on people who are spiritual as well. So it's not just the academics, the activists, free thinking authors, people who are obviously a threat to what's going on down here. If you happen to fall into the category of very powerful spiritualists, or someone who has capability of becoming enlightened, they'll use those technologies on you as well. And so when I was talking like that at that time, that's when stuff just went, hey, that's literally when them folks came after me. That's all I'll say, like, hard. And I went through a difficult time then I um was able to get through that nonetheless. And then it happened again in terms of this the awakening, and then having to, going to the wrong people and running my mouth and talking to, and talking on the phone, or telling people that I thought I could trust about certain things about the spiritual world, and then things going haywire because they would report on things I would say regarding dimensionality, quantum entanglement, circumnavigating V2K technology, energizing your electromagnetic field at will, all these type of things. I didn't know, that these were things that were considered very threatening to talk about among certain circles. I don't, obviously a lot of people know about these things, right? A lot of people know, but I didn't know that that it was something that was kind of hush hush. I just didn't. I wrote about these things as well. I wrote about electromagnetism heavy in one of my books called The Law of Gender, just talking about magnetism from the essence of divine feminine and divine masculine, but breaking it down from the scientific level between electrons and protons and neutrons, as well as drawing parallels from uh, esoteric teachings from the Shakti school of thought, the Rig Veda, the Bible. Like I just literally sat one day and just was writing these things out and just wrote a whole book on it. And I didn't know that those type of things would get me on the radar, because I'm not initiated in anything. I just get visions, dreams, um, talk with God, and then also research. I'm self autodidactic in that way when it comes to my spiritual teachings, self initiated in that way. And so that leaves me as a renegade out here, where people's covens swarm after you, uh, secret societies that, you deal with a lot if you're a renegade spiritualist, or if you're a renegade enlightened soul. And so, um, back on topic to what I'm saying, when it comes to this idea of the rainbow body, and those who reach that state, you will die. There's another practice called Silicana. This is in Jainism, I want to say. Yeah, Silicana is in Jainism, where that also is a form of this idea of this rainbow body, or reaching a higher state of consciousness and then just transitioning over. And so, with rainbow body, you can resurrect, and you can there's some scuttle. I've heard some monks say that you can reach rainbow body and still exist in this realm. But I just know from what I studied that so with the rainbow body, you usually pass over. Some people purposely do this, and say in Jainism called Silicana, where they go through an extreme form of asceticism. Asceticism means that you believe in austerity to the point of where, like, it's not self-flagellation in the sense where you're harming yourself, but you fast pretty much. You fast pretty much to death. You fast in because after a certain level of fast, after a certain number of days of fasting, you reach like this euphoric state, right? You have this euphoria. Now, I can't remember which day it is. Don't quote me. I believe it's either the fifth day for some people, but even after, like, say, like the 40th day or whatever, the euphoria stays. So you're high. You're pretty much in between different realms. And so in Jainism, with Salikana, they would purposely um, practice that asceticism to their death, knowing that they were going to reach the rainbow body, or that they were going to be able to transition into a state of nirvana and get on out of here. That's what would be done on purpose. Now, that's quite different in Buddhism. They don't do that. They don't have the practice of Salikana, but um, through this meditation, you have this rainbow. And believe it or not, and I know this is going to sound, yeah, y'all going to be like, "No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that." But watch this. Some of the monks say that some of those who did the rainbow body practice, when they finally reach this state of this pure consciousness, and this beyond the mind behind mind. Obviously, they completely transcend the mind, right? That they disappear, they could turn into a rainbow, right? Disappear, and all you see was some damn flip flops and. I know that sound extreme, don't it? But all you seen was damn. They sometimes they one time they said it just was flip flops and the damn Buddhist robe was just left, or they say just the toe, just the hair was left, and the whole body just was gone. Like they turned it to a big ass rainbow, right? This bright light, and it just boom. Next, nothing was left but just hair. This is what they say. I'm not saying. I'm just reporting what they say. I think it can happen. I don't doubt. With this world and knowing that it's all frequency and that the universe is mental, you won't get me to doubt too much. When people tell me their story and they tell me these things, that I keep an open mind. And I don't mean I'm just gonna be gullible and believe everything you just say, but I keep an open mind, and I said, damn, that's fascinating. That is so fascinating and cool. But so they have some of these pictures, and so this was left. They saying when it comes to the rainbow body, this was all was left of him. The legs was gone, arms was gone. This was all that was left after he turned into a rainbow. Okay. And so this is obviously these forms of meditation. This is probably a practice of silicana. And so this luminosity, I know like you will see like, okay, this person is dying, or this person is, I'm telling you, they mind be buzzed, but they be zooted and booted. They be zooted and booted. And by that, I mean, they experience bliss consciousness while in the body. They be zooted and booted. They do, and it's and so the body of light in Tibetan Sufi and Christianity. So the body of light is in all religions, by the way, and so it's not just Buddhism, which is very cool. This is obviously what Yeshua went and studied. He studied with these Buddhist monks to understand these practices himself. Now and I really wish we could study this. I really wish the scholars would expound upon this, but he did go more of my route with the Agori. With more of the teachings of the divine feminine, I'll say that, and not so much the middle path, or not so much the asceticism. This extreme asceticism. Yes, he did the 40, the fasting, of course, but there's different forms of how this looked like, and with my assessment of studying Yeshua as ascended master of light, and then knowing some of the more esoteric knowledge beyond just this cosmically intuitively knowing, I'm like, oh, so he was more, learning from that Shakti path, and they'll never admit it. I think those in the know, they'll know, and they don't, for whatever reason, they don't want humans to study that stuff. But I think it's fascinating, nonetheless. Just speaking as a metaphysician now, like more of as a scholar of the metaphysics, I find that fascinating. But as a ascended master, I see it as something that as a kinship. There's a kinship in that, and so that's why I don't mind talking about it. But when it comes to the aura, your aura contains the thought constructions of your consciousness, as well as your feelings. That's what's going to consist of your electromagnetic field. Okay. And so you can measure this. They have like biofeedback devices, believe it or not. I was reading this awesome book. He talks about the Aura Fit. So this was created by Bettina Bernoff, right? And so it's a technology that displays your aura in real time. They also have it's a smart bracelet. Okay. And so this it can show your dominant colors and the health of your chakras at any given moment. Okay. And so like say if the color's on the left side and is the same throughout the entire aura, that means that you're more in touch with the divine feminine. You're more congruent with your emotions, and more of your actions. Okay. Now, if the color is on the both sides, left side and right side, then you are in balance in terms of your thinking and your feeling. Now, if it's on the right side of the body, that's going to be more of your masculine. If you're talking about the color from the aura biofeedback device, that is. So y'all can buy this, or they have, like, you can obviously go to, some of the Reiki healers or whatnot and see how that looks like. But then that represents your masculine, and that is your it's a projective energy. Okay. And that is when you're more of thinking, analytical, um, you're more in your conscious mind, not so much the subconscious, and you're looking from it from you're very pragmatic and whatnot. And so theoretically, you want the colors to be on both sides, right? And so the level of your aura in terms of the extension and the contraction is based on pretty much how your level of expression from the throat chakra. Obviously, it ties from what's in your mind, but say if you're in a mode of being very introverted. I'm very introverted, believe it or not, because my aura does extend quite considerably. And so I contract my aura because, unfortunately, on this planet Earth, and this goes for a lot of you, I'm not the only one that's introverted because they don't like a lot of people in the energy. Um, on this planet, we deal with the Dharma urge, these archonic parasitical energy that, unfortunately, um, it jumps on humans, and sometimes it takes over uh humans. So a lot of people, a lot of humans, they're attracted to other people's aura that got a lot of electromagnetic energy. And so what that means is that people will try to feed off you. Parasites will try to feed off you as well. We talking about human parasites that are infested with archons. They'll try to feed off of you. And so if you are a light being, a chosen one, light being, a person with high vibration, or any type of high level of energy, uh, you would want to contract. Sometimes you want to contract your aura and be more introverted. And so the one way you can contract your aura, if you are dealing with archons, human infested archons, uh, or if you're dealing with energy vampires, people who try to suck off of you, parasite off of you, you want to be more introverted at times. That's going to contract the aura. If you want to spread your aura really, really far, really, really bright, that's when you want to be extroverted. That's when you want to go out into the crowds. That's when you want to, make a video or speak what's on your mind, write a book. That's when you want to do that. And that's one way light workers, light beings, ascended masters, chosen ones, whatever, however you want to call yourself. That is one way you can um, protect your energy while still giving out your aura to those with a fair energy exchange by um, writing books, by drawing out, making sure that there's a proper exchange at all times. Not necessarily you want everything transactional, because we're givers naturally. I'm a giver. I gave in so much to humanity. Most of my stuff is free. I was not even aware of the measure of my aura, the measure of anything. So I just other people were though. And so because a lot of us operate at a certain frequency, we was just simply not aware of a spiritual credit system, the Masonic spiritual credit system that is operating on planet Earth worldwide. We just was not aware of that because we have our own. We were focusing on ourselves so much, and so we didn't feel the need. We don't look at other people as meat like they do in Hollywood, where they do soul sucking, soul selling, energy transfers, stealing of people's energy, stealing, trying to, they call them blessing snatchers. Like, this is really real, like the sacrificing of people so that you can come up in the game or take somebody's energy. That's real shit. Like, it's called Masonic spiritual credit system, and it is definitely real. And those of us who were kind of like those of us who were kind of shielded from that, as far as the knowledge of it, because we're not initiated, we're not in a secret society, but we are gifted in the sense we're the chosen ones, and we are incredibly gifted and have very bright auras. We were walking around here, just whimsical, and people in those societies, even some of our own family members, they saw that and knew that, and they just went to town on us. And that happens to so many people, millions. I don't know. Maybe I can't say millions, but it definitely is tens of thousands, tens of thousands. And believe it or not, a lot of people that are very, very gifted, they don't get this shake because there are other people swiping their spiritual credit system by feeding off of them archons, human infested humans that are infested with archons, um, will, just like an automaton, they see this light. They just see like a crystal, like that's how the chosen ones look to these type of people, like big ass crystals. And they feel like, I'm gonna suck that energy and I'm gonna take that for myself. And this is why we talk about like, oh, such and such was sacrificed, or Aaliyah was sacrificed, or for someone else to come up, or so somebody said, oh my gosh, XXXTentacion was sacrificed by Drake, and all. They talk like this, right? They say these things, and everybody think it's a rumor, it's a conspiracy theory. Oh my gosh, that's not true. Nobody, no, these occultists, that's how they roll. I'm telling you firsthand, that's how they roll, and they tried to do it to me multiple times, and so I know for a fact that's how they roll. And you will feel your inner, like when it once it comes time for when they all gang up on you, and sometimes it'll be a whole organization do it. It'll be 50 occultists gang up on one motherfucker. I've had it done to me, and you wouldn't know what the heck. You'll be looking like, whoa, what? You'll feel it. You will feel it. And I pray, I wouldn't wish that my worst enemy. I pray that nobody ever had to experience that, but I know people that have, and I know those who are set up by these covens and by these secret societies for to be sacrificed right before they about to die. They can feel it, and they know it. They know what's going to happen. When it happened to me, I knew what was happening, and oh, we had to form like Voltron on that ass. We had to like you picked the right motherfucker, pretty much. You picked the right one. You picked. I'm not even gonna go and express who I am. Okay, but yeah, you picked the right one this time. Okay, it was like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I had to fight back, and I it was like it was just on in the spiritual realm. It was on in the spiritual realm, like it was on. And thank God I have a spiritual team and guardian angels and gods and egregores and archangel. Like we I mean, it was busy. Like we got busy. Like, okay, I didn't know nothing about all of that. I'm telling you, I firsthand, like I didn't know nothing about spiritual warfare. And people had tried to tell me, like I'm telling you, people tried to tip me off, and they were under oath or they couldn't really speak and tell me, and they felt really, really sad, and they knew it was happening. They knew it was going to happen to me, and they knew who was doing it. And I had to fight that all on my own, with the help, obviously, of a very powerful spiritual team and people out of the kindness of their heart that also helped. Um, or maybe they felt that it was good karma to help. I don't know, but I had to get through that. But I know for a fact that they was lining my ass up. Just like, and I could only imagine the people that they were actually successful at it, because they didn't have no protection. They didn't have the protection, or whatever. You find somebody at a vulnerable moment, and I'm not saying they won't ever try it again. They've already done it multiple times, so I'm pretty sure they'll keep trying. But this is what's happening to the chosen ones and to those of us of certain bloodlines. When we talk about people from you hear people come forward like a Max Spears, right? Or like some of the people from the Montag program, or people who've been in MK Ultra, and they'll try to explain a story and don't nobody believe them. They all saying the same things, got the same memories, and talking about how it's the stuff with the astral realm, and and how they was taken out of classrooms and they was kids, and they thought that was normal because they was being taught, they was being put in some government program. They trying to tell you, they trying to tip you off, and y'all won't listen. But it's real when they be talking about some of them people from the Montag program and their background and some of the things that they experienced. And I know that's real heavy stuff. They don't want people talking about that, but I'm not saying I was not in that. I was not in Montag. I'm not saying that. I'm not claiming that. But all I'm saying is when you start to hear similar stories, and when people are trying to tell you that about astral realms and astral projections and the occult realms, and how they get down with satanic ritual abuse and sacrifice, when people are trying to tip people off and tell you, they don't have to tell you. People risk their life talking about this kind of stuff. risk their whole channel, risk their livelihoods to give out this stuff because it's on a spirit. It's not because they trying to get trace clout. There ain't no clout chasing in this shit. Do you know what comes with this stuff? Talking about this stuff? Are you kidding me? There's clout chasing in this? No. Like, this is serious stuff, and people do it because it's on a spirit. They don't know anything else. It's in a heart. It's in a soul. Um, they to tell the truth, to try to help others and try to give knowledge to others, and so that they can know what's going on if it's affecting them, and also so that they can bring awareness to it. They want humans to know that these type of things are going on right under your nose, right over your head, and under your nose. That's pretty much what it is, because it was going on over my head and under my nose. And I've always been intuitive, but I didn't. But the thing is, the secret is when you focusing on yourself, that's how you reach enlightenment. That's how you truly ascend and waking up your God consciousness. And that's honestly what I was doing. Now, I was struggling. I wasn't, it wasn't always easy for sure, and I was, but I do know that to me, I was like focused on myself. Like, don't compare myself to other people. Don't be jealous of other people. Don't try to take from nobody. Just focus on cultivating yourself the best way you know how until you get to the next level. Go to get to the next level. I didn't know that there was a swarm of random ass weirdo archon infested, these humans infested with archons that's in secret societies and that's in covens just coming after me because they trying to get a come up. How would I have known it? I don't focus on what other people are doing, or that you in a contract for hire program that the government put you on because they did a contract for hire and you're a targeted individual. That we really don't go there, right? Are we gonna go there today? I don't think y'all ready for that. I don't think y'all ready for that. But let's not act like they don't have these contract for hire programs, Citizen Corps, fusion centers. Yeah. It's real. It's all real. And maybe in 50 years, you guys, I'm not trying to be condescending or stuff. It's just it gets a little frustrating to be screaming from the top of your lungs about something, and then for the average human to try to gaslight you. Either they be in on it, or you just very unenlightened or very unaware. So either you're unaware, but most of the time the people that's gaslighting you, or the people that's like, no, that's crazy, that ain't true, that's just conspiracy. They are the people that are in on it. And unfortunately, when it gets to that level, if you become that much of a threat to the system, most of the time they have certainly paid off people in your circle to do you in. So that will be your friends and family. And like I said, how does this ties to aura? It does tie to your aura, because this all stems from your electromagnetic field. We are all light and heat, pretty much. You are a light particle, a light wave that resonates based on your state of consciousness. And we all operating on different levels of awareness. We're not all equal. And that's not a bad thing, because for whatever reason, we have different missions, even while simultaneously being interconnected to the Godhead and being interconnected to the cosmos as one. We experience this taxonomy in terms of this perception of separation, the separation of distinction. That's an arbitrary gift on planet Earth. If you're on planet Earth, you're going to experience taxonomy. What is taxonomy? Categories of contrast, duality, light and dark, hot and cold, woman and male, woman and man, rather, animal, different types of species, different plant species, different animal kingdom, amphibian, Homo sapien, reptilian. All of that's taxonomy. Categories, arbitrary categories in the higher realms of consciousness, of God consciousness, but certainly relevant on planet Earth, because why it may be arbitrary in God's eyes. It's for you to experience your own catalyst of ascension. The taxonomy works as a potentiator for humans, at least. And animals, I'm not an animal in that sense, so I can't speak on the animals. But as a human, the taxonomy works as a as a potentiator for us to choose our own paths, to co-create our own IPUs, which is an ideal parallel universe, as well as soul ascension. Now, soul ascension, it's like, okay, what does that mean? Is it one way to do that? Of course not. That's why you have the taxonomy. And also, obviously, what we know in human nature is the tendency to go towards pleasure and not pain. And so the if we remove the taxonomy, we don't have that contrast. You become non-sentient essentially. You become you're still consciousness, but you don't know anything. You don't become intelligent. Rather, you don't become evolved, and you don't become a god if you remove the element of taxonomy and duality. You would just be a star or something. You would just be that the you'll just be resonance. You'll just be energy in that sense. So I think one of the aspects of the taxonomy and duality on this planet is a potentiator to experience that contrast of moments of pain and pleasure, moments of sorrow, grief, happiness, joy, peace. um, and so that when we play this video this video game, our broadband video latency, uh, how do you realize how powerful you are if you don't go through those the contrast of that's the opposite of pleasure, that's the opposite of happiness. Like how do you get yourself out of a rut? How do you challenge your computer brain, your transducer? You got to train the algorithm, your algorithm rather, your personal algorithm. This is a part of also how you program your electromagnetic field. How do you train the data? What data do you use to train it? The content that's on planet Earth, the V2, the data. That's how you decide how to program it. What's happened on the planet Earth is that you have a mind control system. So there's other people programming you. You have secret societies that do the programming and governments that do government. I did a video that talks about the difference between government and governance to break down how pretty much you're in a system of mind control. And those of us that break our mind control, which we call latent forms of MK Ultra. Phil Valentine talked about the subtle forms of MK Ultra, by the way, and how it's in academia, how it's in the music industry, and how it's like he tried to wake that up, right? And that was like 50 years ago. I mean, I think the YouTube video is still up somewhere, but it's old. It's real old. And he tried to wake that up. And so that's what's on planet Earth. Now we're coming out of that, thank God. We're coming out of that. We're talking about the Great Awakening and the age of the divine feminine and the age of Aquarius and the age of Saturn and the age of information and age of exposure and age of enlightenment. Yes, 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 yes. Age of Christ consciousness. And so with that, obviously comes the breaking of massive mind control and mass psychosis. And so that is a great thing. And it all relates to the aura. I know it's like we talked about many topics within this video, but it's like your personal aura, your personal electromagnetic field, that is your energy marker. It's like your fingerprint that's walking this planet. And so you have to be aware that depending on where you're at, or if you are, maybe you are one of the energy vampires, maybe you are one of the blood suckers, maybe you are one of the gang stalkers, I don't know, or that's doing this to other people, that or maybe you're not. Maybe you are one of the light workers, light beings, chosen ones, one of the targeted individual, one of the bright beings that are activating your aura, that are aware, but then you have energy vampires around you, or people trying to take your energy. And so that's why I covered that. That's why I talked about that extensively, because you need to be aware. If you want to, now I do want to talk about some ways to obviously protect the aura. Another aspect when we talk about dealing with the aura, we talked about the chakras and whatnot, is this idea of energy cords, right? And so that also ties into me telling you about the human infested, the archon, the humans that are infested with archons, those who steal energy and spiritual credits from other people. You have this idea of the energy cords. This obviously can be affected when you come into contact with someone else's aura. That could be through sex, or someone you spend a lot of time with, or family members. unfortunately, if you're around like unhealthy attachments in terms of your energy cord, you become entangled with someone else, and they can amplify feelings and emotions that are not your own, and you'll feel it. You'll feel feelings. You like, why am I feeling this way? You're depressed for no reason. You have intense anger, fear. Any inauspicious emotion that could be an attachment or cord. You want to consider that when you're chilling and minding your business or whatever. And the next thing you know, you just feel this overwhelming sense of sadness, or you feel like, "Oh, what's going on? Why is my emotions like this? What are they doing? Are they hitting me with a directed energy weapon?" I've heard people say it's spiritual people. Like, damn, they must be spraying something around. They got some type of frequency weapon. They do use them, by the way, on us. They do. But we can always, there's ways to circumvent that as well, right? Again, if you there's ways. This is all frequency. This is all energy, and so any directed energy weapon can come if you operate at a certain vibration. Now, for those of us that happen to be dealing with those type of things, if you're not being hit with a directed energy weapon, or you're not, you know what I mean, or sonar wave beam, then you most likely have an energetic cord attachment around you. Okay, and that's where you want to protect your energy. Have you been having promiscuous sex? Who you've been having sex with is your, you want to think about those things. Are you around a person that's draining your energy, an energy vampire, someone that's dog you? Check your family members. Is your family members and your friends, are they feeding your spirit? Are they feeding your aura? Are they adding, or do you feel drained when you leave them? Sometimes you talk on the phone with somebody for 30 minutes or an hour, and they come to you with some nonsense, and you get off the phone and your ass feel drained. They walk away with a whole heap of energy, a whole heap of blessings, and them took from you, and you feel drained. And sometimes you purposely would give your energy, and they'll compensate you for that. Like, say if you get a spiritual reading or something, and that's a little different, or a healing. Some people do the healing or whatever. You give someone some photons and some protons. You give them some photons and some infrared rays so that they can heal themselves, or that they can pick their ass up, and you know how to replenish your energy at will. And see, the one thing I don't respect, and the reason why you hear me talk with such a disdain about, certain the Satanists that steal energy using the Masonic spiritual credit system, people that sacrifice other people. Like, the reason why I don't have I just have zero respect for that is because it is very easy to replenish your electrons at will from the center of the galaxy. It's very easy. It is very easy to constantly have a surplus of energy from the abundant, vast, infinite galaxy, literally. And so I would never understand why somebody would have to go like how low you have to be in your thinking and your state of consciousness to have to think you got to go and steal from somebody else's gifts, or steal from somebody else's energy. And the reason why I have such a disdain for it, because it has happened to me my whole life, and it's happened to so many other people their whole life. And I've seen it break other people, and I see how they try to break me with it. And so you'll never ever hear me say anything good about them type of people, ever. And that's why you always see me support Cat Williams and other people like him who come out and tell the truth about what people are doing. Cat Williams try to tell you people the copycat thing, the copycat stuff is a form of stealing spiritual credit system too. And I'm going to do a video on that because I want to talk to you about that. That's another way to do it. Mimicry, purposely trying to lower somebody else's vibration, trying to drive someone to self-destruct so that you can steal the gifts off of them. These things are happening in the occult. I am telling you firsthand, this is what they tried to do to me. And now that I know what it looked like, because I'm listening to other people tell the exact same damn story. And so I know that it can't be thousands of people that's just randomly crazy or nothing. Nah, this stuff is real. And so what Cat Williams trying to say is, people stealing jokes, people are dragging each other, people are, talk about the dress thing. That's a ritual. I don't care what they try to tell you. It's funny. It ain't that damn funny. Every movie got to have a black man in a dress. How is that funny? How okay, we saw it one time. We see it with Martin Lawrence. We see it once or twice. Okay, find another. It's plenty of funny ass things to do. A dog chasing after a mailman biting his ass is funny. Anything is funny. Somebody, it's bad shit that can be funny as ever. Believe it or not, even just watching a baby laughing with such a great joy is funny as hell. If you see a baby laughing wildly over something ridiculous, like I don't know, I don't know if you ever saw this. Until I had a magnifying glass, right? And you put the magnifying glass in your teeth and it looks like a horse. You guys know what the teeth starts to look like the horse because it's so big. And you ever go to a baby and do that to them? They'll laugh hysterically. They'll laugh where there's tears coming out their eyes. They'll turn red. The baby will laugh so much and it will make you laugh. It will make you laugh because they are so dramatic. It's like, it's not that funny. It's never that serious. Have you ever had those moments where you see a kid just cracking up and they think for the life of them, it just tickles them to death? And you're like, as an adult, you admire that laughter. You admire that joy, but at the same time, you're like, this is not that funny. And so if that's that to me as me being me, that's funny to me, but me seeing a bunch of black men in dresses, no, that's damn sure not funny. Now, obviously we talk about the dress and the construction of gender and whether a dress is inherently feminine or inherently masculine, because in some cultures they wear the dress, whatever. And our construction of Black American culture, wearing a dress is feminine in Black American culture. Wearing a dress is something that girls do. And it's kind of like not just Black American culture, it's American culture. Now, if you go to Middle East or you're in Africa, they got the certain names for it, and they had it. That's different. I'm not talking about that. You guys don't know I'm talking about that. I'm talking about culturally. We talk about relativity now, right? Seeing the black man in a dress is not funny, like in Black American culture. When has it been funny? Like I don't understand it. And so now they want to call us homophobic or whatever. They call them bisexual people. I'm bisexual. I am not homophobic, but something about that don't sit right with me because I also know the light codes of the Black American men, and so their light codes. I know that it's ritual being done to fragment their aura by putting them in a damn dress and telling them to go on Hollywood and offering, and it is a curse that comes with it. And that's what Brandon T. Jackson tried to tell y'all about. For certain bloodlines, we're not supposed to do gender transference. Gender transference is a spiritual occult practice that they do at certain higher levels to transfer of energy. We are in our culture, gender transference. Okay, now I'm not talking about a transgender. Don't try to make it seem like, oh, she's trying. That is not what I am talking about. I'm not talking about someone that's just gay. That is so different. That is not it. I'm talking about where you try to invert the law of gender on a group of people through ritual to curse them. That's what I'm talking about. And so that's what they know, certain things about our culture and our bloodlines. And so what they do with the black man is try to fragment the aura by doing things that they know are culturally against our bloodline. And then they try to convince them. All the greats have done it. Oh, you're going to be good. This is a high level role. You're going to get paid. You're going to get the big screen and money. Get the $20 million video. You're going to put them in a dress. It's going to be funny. And then the black man says, oh, some of them, not all of them, but some of them say, oh, where do I sign? They get excited. They put on that dress, but Vinny, like Cat Williams, he says no. And many have said no as well. And that's why this is another thing I want to tell Black Americans and Americans in general who's listening. Y'all got to stop trying to come at people who, you think they fell off, right? Say, oh, that person fell off, or they a one-hit wonder, right? Let it go. Pick on it. Oh, you didn't make it in. You didn't make it in Hollywood. You didn't make it in the industry. You didn't make it in life. You didn't make it in politics. You don't know what they didn't make it in the Matrix, but you don't know where else they made it in the kingdom or in the spiritual realm. You don't know what they walked away from. You don't know what they had to keep. Kevin Williams trying to say he had to protect his virgin whole. So he had to walk away from the $50 million deals 4 times. Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million deal. Ran his ass to Africa, get some protection from Orisha, okay, from Ilegua. Okay, let's wake it up. Let's wake it up. And I get deep. That's just me. I paid the price for it. Shit. It ain't nothing they can't do. They already done tried to kill me, all types of shit. They do all types of witchcraft, all types of shit. So I'm like, look, I'm just going. Look, I've already done wrote about it, already done talked about it. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. It's in my soul. And so he runs to Africa. He gets him some protection because they was after his ass through the occult. That's why they kept trying to gaslight him. They can take psychotic medicine. Ain't nothing wrong with him. That's the first thing they try to do if they realize you're not about to go with the agenda. Oh, get the medicine out. Oh, the Kanye West. Let's wake up. And yeah, you may be eccentric, or you may be spiritual, and but that doesn't mean that you're crazy. And so when they try to do that with Cat Williams, anybody that tell the truth pretty much, or anybody that's thinking too hard about it, thinking too much. Oh, you're thinking too much. And so that's why you always see me support the underdogs and the people like Monique, who and I want to give some spiritual advice to her. I think I might do a whole video on her because she's not handling that situation with that son right, and she's about to self-sabotage. And I wish, as much as, I understand that there is a concerted effort for, they tell people to not talk to me or bring me on or big me up as far as part of their shadow ban. But it's like, had she reached before that happened, before she did that response to that son and had a backlash that she's getting, I would have really loved to talk to her. I would really, really, really love to consult with her spiritually before she did that. I still love her, but I really wish she would have never handled that. There's no judgment. I have no judgment. The people are judging her, and, but with the situation with the son. But anyways, I'm always going to ride for Terrence Howard. What's the other one? Terrence Howard. You know what? You know what I love? You know what I love? And I'm about to share it. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. It's this black man, the one that played Debo in Friday. I'm telling you, I've listened to this video probably like 50 times where he says, but you cannot compromise yourself. And he's a little kids don't want to see a man in a dress. They want to see a soldier. I'm about to play. I gotta play that for y'all. I gotta find it and play it for y'all because I'm not gonna hold you. I'll be listening to it because his spirit just was so powerful when he was saying it. He said, but you cannot compromise yourself. When he was talking about how he said they don't like me in Hollywood. He said they got to find some other black person to do that. I ain't doing that. And I love that energy. And then he dies. But that's the type of energy that we need. That's the type of energy that we need when it comes to the black man. I like to see more of it. I like to see more of that. And a lot of people may say, oh, that's toxic masculinity. That's not how, No, it's not. Him standing in divine masculine saying, you know what, this is not how, in my community and my beliefs, is not what we do. We believe in showing very great examples of black. Now, people may say, well, in Debo, he was a bully and, he was in Friday, he was a bully or whatnot. And we could talk about that too, as far as like the expansion of roles that black men and black women get in Hollywood, right? Or in those positions. We could talk about that. Like, we want to see an expansion of that as well. And I agree with that talking point. But I'm always going to stick up for the underdogs and the people that have had to deal with the things that I've had to deal with, and they have more influence than me. So I'm always happy when they speak up, because if it's somebody like me, or if it's just or if it, here you go, I found it. Why do they not like you? I don't work. But if it's just someone that doesn't have an influence, when we're saying these things, then we can get written off easily, and a lot of things will happen to us. And I was shocked, when I was hearing like what some of the things other people have had to deal with. But when it's like a Kanye West speaking up about the exploitation and the sacrificing that has been happening, and how people about the trauma, how they want to monetize or traumatize. That I'm always going to respect him for that. Now, do that mean I agree with what he said with the Hitler? Obviously not. But like, let's not act like, he's not a Jew, for one. He is. Two, he had credible points about talking about the exploitation of things he went through. And so I understand his anger and his frustration. And so I'm always going to stand for truth. Always going to stand for truth. And so let's listen to what Tommy Lister talked about right here. This is what Dave is saying. And he's dead, I believe. He died recently. He died recently, I believe.
The most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gunning. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy that wear a dress. You know what I'm talking about. The most feared man in Hollywood.
I'm telling you see how I was quoting some of the stuff. That's how much I watched it, because it's serious, and it all relates to. See, now they look at his aura. Now let's talk about his aura. What do you get from his aura? Now they typecast to him, right, as a bully in Friday, but when we talk about the aura. Look at this strong. It's a powerful aura. It's a powerful, just from the way he said.
Dresses, I don't do that gay stuff on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gunning. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough. Compromise yourself if you love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord.
That is an aura. That's the energy. It's part of it. Now, the words, hecka, that's your radio signal he's giving out. That's a part of his electromagnetic field. Now, when he says you cannot compromise yourself, that radiates a frequency. Now, when they say, this is the black man saying this, right? So now they say, let's put him in a dress. What does that do? Compromise the aura. Compromise himself. If he would agree to it. Now, what if he said, okay, let me go put it on? Fragments of the aura, fragmentation of the mind, and fragmentation of the aura, fragmentation of the electromagnetic field, because the electromagnetic field of the black man is not, in America, is not to put on a girl's attire. Now, in a parallel universe, you can have theoretically this concept of gender, where the idea of this gender transference, in terms of the construction of what's considered feminine and masculine. Yes, in a parallel universe, that can change. And under that construction, it would be the same thing. In this universe, we have construction of how we view the divine masculine, how we view the divine feminine. Now, does a lot of that stuff, the Western conception of it, does a lot of that stuff bother me? I wrote a whole book called The Law of Gender. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that I find in Western society that is very abhorrent and very stupid. I obviously am from the Great Matriarch. I obviously promote the Queen Mothership. I wrote 3 books on the Queen Mothership, Divine Feminine. So I understand what a great matriarchy looks like. But when you have a great matriarchy, you also have great masculinity expression as well. And so part of the Queen Mothership is you're supposed to have men that are like this in a Queen Mothership. You're not supposed to have. It's not to dominance of the divine feminine over divine masculine. It's damn sure not dominance of divine masculine or divine feminine. I am very much, egalitarian, but I also know that everything comes from the divine feminine in terms of the birthing of electromagnetism itself. The divine feminine gives rise to divine masculine. I'm never going to stop saying that, but I also know that as a manifestation of the masculine is not looking from my culture. I can only speak from my culture. I can't speak from other people's perspective. And in our culture, we believe in having strong males that don't compromise their morals, that don't compromise their self. And they stand up for truth. They believe in being strong. They look strong. It's not about you look strong. And a part of that, It doesn't mean you got to be some 6'10" big muscle. No. It doesn't matter about height. It doesn't matter about muscles and all that. It's about the aura. It is about the aura, right? So Cat Williams, we see he's short. Prince, short, big aura, big manly aura. I see Cat Williams as divine masculine. Aura. When he walks into the room, he said the heads go down because he didn't sell his soul. Because he calls out truth. Now, and he took some ass whooping for it too. I took an ass whooping for it. I know what it is to take an ass whooping for speaking the truth. And that's another reason why you won't see me turn on truth tellers, because I know what it's like to get your ass tore out the frame by these motherfuckers. When these Satanists and these people that hate the truth and that are liars and that are deceivers and that are the devil's children. I know what it's like to get your ass smacked up by them, but they trying to smack you up, and you got to just rely on God within. You got to rely on God. Literally, that's all you got. And you better be willing to fight. And you got to be strong. You got to practice all of your intergalactic mentalism. You got to practice all of your chi, manage all of your prana, because if you're working from love, yeah, I believe in love and light. I believe in love. You can't get you look me up somewhere. You look me up in the spiritual realm. That's all I be is love. But I will tag your motherfucking ass if you attack me for no reason. I'm a light being. I'm a peace worker. All I do is love. I wish everybody the best. I don't care who you is. I don't care what race you is. I don't care what gender you is. I don't care what species you is. I wish everybody their highest good of love and success and peace and enlightenment in this bitch. And all I got is good intentions and just want to chill and learn and express myself and help people. And then I gotta worry about some weirdo ass secret society Satanists coming at me because they feel threatened, or a government coming at me. Oh no. No. I just want to chill and be peaceful. I'm an introvert. I just chill. I do a spiritual reading. Go look on YouTube, read some books, write some books. I have a very simple life. And so when I see weirdo ass parasitic, archonic, weird humans trying to take what's mine because they see, and I have recordings of family members saying, "You are so gifted. Oh, gifts come from God," and trying to tip me off to what the hell was happening to me, what was going on. Record and honestly, and in some of the recordings I got, I could, if you don't have analog and it's just digital or through Wi-Fi, the powers that be, they done cut off the other side of what they were saying. Like I've had proof of what was going on, of how motherfuckers was coming for me, and I have some proof, like even some text messages and stuff that you'll be like, nah, something ain't right. Some and some people they know that I wasn't lying. That they know, like, no, they did some. That girl ain't just talking like that. Like something really serious was going on there. But when I was talking with certain people, if it's not analog, you're not going to have any proof of it, because they're going to shut off. If it's digital or Wi-Fi, they just shut off the fucking Wi-Fi. Let's be real. Yeah, I know this. They're just going to shut off your Wi-Fi. And you're just going to, or even just not now. I wouldn't be surprised if this shit was all choppy and acting all up the feedback as far as the playback. I wouldn't be surprised if they were cutting off certain parts, most important parts. I wouldn't. Because that's how they do. But yeah, you're gonna see me talk about this stuff, and with great passion. And one day, I guess because it just happened like within a year, you can still feel that anger and that hurt. But I do think eventually I'll be past it. And I damn sure, I pretty much don't even really care now. I pretty much don't really even care now. But I'm still disgusted. I can recognize, I can see it now. I can see when somebody's trying to do it, and I could see it in people's auras, in a space, in a face. I could see it on them. I could see the spirits on people now. And it's just like, whew. Sometimes they talk about, you know, I would never forget when the lady, it was a prophetess. She was a prophetess, and she was a white lady. She used to come to the black churches though, out in Buffalo, New York, and she was an amazing prophetess too. Like she honestly, after my contact with her, she did a revival at our church, Pentecostal church, and after no lie, after that contact with her, her name was Renee. Believe it or not, I had developed a lot of spiritual gifts and was never the same after that. And I knew it was after contact with her. And she had prophesied over my life. The first time she couldn't get nothing. She said it was blocked. Like she said, God's not letting me see nothing on you. And then the second time she was able to get some things. But she was telling me and my best friend, a story about how, pretty much about reptilians. We thought she was saying that the eyes switched. She said she was talking, and she said the person's shift, their eyes turned to lizard eyes. And she said it freaked her out because she didn't know what was going on. But she said, you be careful what you ask for. She said, there's a price to pay with spiritual knowledge and with spiritual awakening, and with, she said, it's not all walk in the park. She said, you're gonna see some shit. She ain't, she ain't curse, but she's like, you're gonna see some stuff. She said, she said, it's a price to pay. And back then, I think I was like 21 years old. So I didn't know what she was, we thought, we believed her, but it just didn't hit us. Like, you're 21 years old. You're like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I might've been younger than 20. I was younger than 21, actually. No, I was 19 years old. So I'm thinking now, nope. I was a sophomore, a freshman in college going into sophomore year. Yeah. So yep, I was 19. Yep, I was 19 or 20. And so a 19 or 20-year-old, when you tell them about some shape shifting lizard eyes, you ain't gonna, come on, like really, like you believe it, but you at the same time it don't hit you. I am 32 years old now. It is almost 13 years later, and I now understand the totality of what that lady told me in that church when I was 20 years old. Her name was Renee, and she was a Christian esotericist. So she was one of the ones that was up on game, astral projecting, telekinesis, Reiki healing. She was all into that. She would travel all over the world, Jerusalem, nowhere to go and get some power, And so she wasn't one of the basic. She wasn't, unaware. And she was trying to tell us, man, and she did that revival, and we was all, had everybody passed out. It was some spirits in there, man. It was big time angels in that revival. I felt them because I was knocked out we were knocked out. Like, you talk about the Holy Spirit feels, they talk about an Acts, in the book of Acts, where the Holy Spirit come down. No, that was some real stuff. And I had never really talked about that. I ain't gonna hold you. This is my first time ever really expressing that, talking about this publicly, but it was real. It was real. Like, I know there's some people that testify, because there was at least 100 other people, and they were coming from all over Buffalo to go to that revival. And it was a small little church, and they were coming from different parts of the church to get under that anointing, because she did bring something in there, and it wasn't, how you could feel the demonic spirit, or you could feel like, nah, she ain't working with no good spirits like that. I was intuitive enough to be able to felt that, because I had felt that before with people, right? Where you just know that, that's not the spirit of truth, or that's not no angelic spirits, or that don't feel good. Because a lot of these pastors, they are working with occult, Goetia demons for their power. I'm letting you know that now. When you be seeing people pass all out, they put your hand on the head and everybody pass out on it. Some of that don't be the Holy Spirit, or what they would call working from the heavenly realm, is what I'll say. Because there's just two realms, and people could say, well, it doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I've been in this game for over 10 years, and again, I'm a baby still. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely a baby, and I'm renegade. So I'm not initiated, so I don't know. You know what I mean? So I'm a chaos. I'm a chaos esotericist. So we bump our heads more than say those who we bump our that have the training, ceremonial training and whatnot. But you'll know. You will know when somebody is dealing with them type of they'll pastor and you, and so you again, not all of them is working from a high space. And another thing is when people say it doesn't matter which realm you work with, it's all the same, and that is not true to me. And from my electromagnetism, from my spirit, that doesn't resonate with me. It just doesn't. I don't believe that at all. That it doesn't matter. Hell no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not after what I've seen, what have I experienced. And I don't have no judgment because I know that there's interdimensional beings and different types of uh, humanoids and whatnot, and different types of entities and spirits and egregores, and I understand that. I don't have no judgment from that. But to say that the person working from a low governing force of certain powers versus someone working from the dimension of love. If you're working from the dimension of love, you're working from the dimension of peace. That is inherently different from somebody working from the dimension of deriving power from fear, from trauma inducing, from trauma induced mind control, or from from sacrificing somebody from violence and to get their power stuff. Those are not the same. They'll never be the same, and they'll never be on equal footing. They'll never be same ramifications or implications. Never. They'll never convince me of that because I know better. And so I had heard that my whole life, and that's one of the dangers of when you're dealing with people who are not evolved but are in the occult or in those realms. They'll talk like that, and they'll lead you to dark paths. They'll lead you to, not, I won't say dark paths. They'll lead you to inauspicious paths. They'll lead you to inauspicious paths, telling you that the working with the what they call the demonic realm, but I call low governing force realm, where you can pay off entity to go and torture someone who doesn't deserve it because you're mad at them because they walked on your lawn, or because you're jealous. Like there's people in the metaphysical world that just they get jealous and they'll attack you for no reason, and they'll use certain entities to do it in a spiritual realm. You're not going to tell me that is okay in the eyes of the universe. No. Like that to me is inherently low governing force. It is inherently deceptive. It is inherently a low vibration. That is nothing an ascended master would do. It's nothing an angel would do. It's nothing a high vibrating being would do. Nothing a high vibrating entity would do. And so I would never see it as one and the same. I would never see it like that. And people could say, well, that's judgmental, or that's this, that's trying to impose morality. If you cannot figure out how to derive how to cleanse your electromagnetic field, how to derive energy for your own electromagnetic field to propel your ass through ascension, or to propel yourself through the ranks of success or what you want in this life, then if you can't figure out how to do that, then it is not justifiable to go and try to steal it from someone else. Do the work. Stop being lazy. And that's what Cat Williams was talking about, shortcuts. You don't respect people that take shortcuts. I don't either. I don't need to. And maybe that's my arrogance, and maybe that's my ego, perhaps. But I know for a fact that I don't have to go and look at someone else and steal from someone else. You can be inspired. I bless the gifted and the talented. But I don't feel like I need to go. I'm so jealous. I don't have that my self-esteem. So I can't feel that. I can't relate to that shit. I don't know what that feels like. I can't. I just can't. And maybe that people will view that as arrogant. Well, not everybody is. Nah, that don't give you. Everybody got gifts. Everybody got something that makes them special. Everybody got to find what that is. You have to do your own work. You can't try to go and sacrifice somebody else or go steal from somebody else. And that's why I will never respect that type of thinking. And again, I guess it's personal because it was done. It was, people tried to do it to me. And so I have a different, if it didn't happen to me, maybe I wouldn't even care. But since I know that it was attempted on me, I have very much animosity towards it. And if once I heal, I won't even care about it. Well, I'm not running around here harboring anger. All I'm saying is, I bust back at that. I bust back at it. I bust back at copycatters, people that try to steal people's essence or tap into other people's energy. Like, nah, if someone wants a blessing from someone else, you can have a bodhisattva bless you, and you will be blessed for the rest of your life. And they can give you full times. They can give you some of their full times to heal you, give you some of your full times to help you discover yourself. You didn't have to steal, or you didn't have to deceive them or sell them out or try to sacrifice them. People share their gifts with the world, and that should be enough. You shouldn't allow an institution or a government or an entity to try to pay someone else so that you can go turn and sell somebody else out. And that's what my own people did to me. And so, if they could have gotten away with it, they would have. And they would not have cared. I have the text messages in one of my phone from a friend from 20 years that told me, we didn't give a fuck about what we was doing to you. We didn't care. And they thought I was going to die, so they didn't care. They thought, well, your ass going to be dead anyway, so I can say this to you. I've been your friend for 20 years, and I'm saying this to you. And I got the text messages to prove it. But I'm still alive. And so if I was to put that all out on the internet, then what? I have some proof of what I'm talking about. And so they wouldn't have cared. And that's why I bust back so hard at it. And if you're a chosen one, bust back hard at it with me. In the name of Saturn, in the name of Yeshua, whatever you want, in the name of your name, bust back at it, boomerang that shit. Like, don't hold no fences with these motherfuckers, because these people are wicked. And if they would have if they could have took me out, they would have, and they wouldn't have not gave a fuck, and they would have rolled off of my energy, off of my gifts, off of my 18 books that I've written, and my intellectual property that's 100% owned by me, that would have went to people who had, I guess, I don't know if they had an insurance policy, but since my will was made out to them, they would have killed me and would have collected the residuals for the rest of their life off of my death. And so that's why I say this publicly and openly. My will is entrusted to no one is the heir to my will but the Nakhti Church of the Higher Self estate. Nakhti Church of the Higher Self, a patron that loves me, they can start the Nakhti Church of the Higher Self, whether that's 100 years from now or 200 years from now. But nobody else, no living soul on this planet is an heir to my publishing, my intellectual, my copyright, nothing. None of my residuals or royalties can be paid out to no living soul except for Nakhti Church of the Higher Self, my church, and Nakhti University. That's it. And that's where it goes, because I saw with my own eyes. I know what was going to happen to me. I know it was going to happen to me. And I don't care how many motherfuckers try to deny it. Try, oh, you just making that up. Oh, that I don't shit. If I put the stuff that the sparse the pieces of evidence, y'all still would deny it because you're under oath. But they know what I'm talking. They know I'm not lying. They know, like, nah, they was really about to get at her, and I know the government knows, because there were some way, somehow, somebody helped me fight that spiritually. And I wasn't just by myself fighting that spiritually with them occultists and them damn Satanists. I wasn't just by myself. So I do have to say that I can't act like I just did it all on my own. I know I had God, but I also know there was other people too. I know there was other humans that helped too. That I do know as well. And it makes me kind of uncomfortable even talking about this, because it's a real heavy topic. We go into aura and toroidal fields and energy, electromagnetism, and photons and infrared rays, and then now we go into this because it all matters. Because a lot of stuff that you've been dealing with is based on your aura and toroidal field. And so let's talk about how do you break those energetic cords? How do you have spirit, when you have energetic cords, when you have parasites, and when you have people feeding off of your energy, how do you protect your aura? What if you're not dealing with that? What if you have spiritual ties? Spiritual ties and energetic cords are two different things. But now I want to talk about this, because I want to wrap this up, because I want to go to another. I want to talk about another video, the topic rather, in another video. Protecting of the aura. I'm going to give you some physical modalities as well as some mental modalities, because everything is mental. But I'll give you the physical modalities to train the subconscious mind for preparation of the mental, because that's all ritual is. It's all psychology. First one is, obviously, the most easiest is the cleansing of the spiritual bath with water. Water carries information. You get, if you have say you have hard water, and so it was tap water, that ain't gonna help. It's recycled water. You can transmute that water as it comes out of your fountain with your mind. You can say, I transmute this to the highest self, highest code of love for me, as the water is coming out of the shower. And believe it or not, just the cleansing with the water. If you can get to the ocean, that's even better, right? And get to the ocean, that'll be great. Or to a river, a very special river, where you can cleanse yourself, because water is the best cleanser, and fire, believe it or not. We'll talk about fire, but to protect your aura, to cleanse the aura. For the physical modality, you can always just take a bath with some sea salt. You can put, see what I like to do. Well, I'm not going to get into what I like to do, but another powerful thing is go boil some hyssop, and then obviously wait till it gets warm, very warm, and then pour it in the bath water, or you can pour it over your head while you're standing up, but make sure it's warm. It don't burn your ass. You put the hyssop. Obviously, they call this one practice, they called it limpia con huevo. Let me actually Google that for it. Let me so I can show you an example. Where were we at? Oh, I was still on this. Let me share. Let me share. Let's go back here and let's actually look that up. Limpia con huevo means clean with egg. Or is it con un huevo? Is it clean with an egg? And so you can cleanse your aura with an egg wash. Egg over the head, over the body. You take the egg and you go over the head, ears, especially the ears and the mind aspects, because the head, the body. Now, people do have other people do this for them. I don't believe in that. You should be doing it yourself. That's just me personally. But people, I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, if you could just buy a fucking egg and do this yourself, because the egg is obviously this is very deep science too. It carries the egg itself obviously has an electromagnetic field, but it carries this promuculus. It has the science of the conception of the sperm in the egg, and then this life conception. And maybe theoretically that is what someone would call dark magic or something. I personally don't see it that way. I see that there's a transference of the energy from your aura into the egg, and then you're going to throw the egg away, right? That's the simple part of it. But you go over the body with the egg, and that can cleanse your aura. It's a very old practice. It's more of Indian and North American. I'm sorry, South American and North American practice, but it gets the job done. Obviously, if you're more spiritual, not more spiritual, but if you're more like religious, you can do frankincense and myrrh incense over the body, the cleanse. The myrrh brings in more of, like, believe it or not, and fairies in connection with your righteous ancestors, but it brings in good fairies and good angels, and then the frankincense purifies the aura, and then the myrrh brings in good entities for protection. Other aspects of physical modalities for the protection of the aura. It's so many. It's thousands of things. Let's just be real. You'll be sitting here all day. You could do the dragon's blood. Let's look that up. Dragon's blood resins. Dragon's blood. Get you some dragon's blood. They got the one with the sage, and you that dragon's blood is stronger than sage, believe it or not. And you cleanse yourself with that. Okay, dragon's blood and sage. Sage is another one. That's an ancient practice as well. You can also just burn this in the house to cleanse the house. It's an incense. You get the oil. You can wear it on you. It's thousands of things. That's just physical. Because mental, you don't have to buy. You say you got no money, you just do the mental and be good, right? because sometimes people go spending so much money on these things. Another one is the floor wash. You do floor for your house. You do floor wash with Florida water. You can also put Florida water in your bath, or you can wear Florida water as well. This is a good cleansing. This is a hoodoo Black American practice. I think some of the Haitians may do this too. They do this. The Haitians do this as well. This is a North American practice with the Florida water. And so you can put some of this in the bath water, or you can wash your floors with it. And so that's also pretty cool. As we said, Solange with her, she practices hoodoo. And so that's another. Floor washes are very good. You can also use red brick dust to put around the perimeters of the house. Again, these are physical modalities, and this is just training of the subconscious mind to where you get to the point where you don't have to do any of these things, and you can just do it through the mental. You could just do it. You can read certain texts out of a sacred text and be good. You don't have to do these things. I'm just saying for those who like. Some people like to do the action. They got to have action with their mental, and that's what a ritual is. You're training of the subconscious mind through the action, physical action. And so you can get hyssop. Now you can get the hyssop tea and put that in a and boil that as well, and pour that over the body, or put it in the bath water. There's so many, and then obviously you have tons of oils, that you can make. Fiery wall protection oils, a hoodoo oil. There's so many. You can do just a simple sea salt. Just do simple. You could do just a simple sea salt and be good. Then you have the spiritual modalities where you can actually work with certain entities, your righteous ancestors, of course, Archangel Michael, and protective energies that can block certain things from hitting your aura from energy vampires and whatnot. There's plenty of there's so many things that you could do to protect your aura. Obviously, crystals would be one, but you have to be careful with crystals because crystals can amplify energy. Sometimes, if your vibration is not high enough, a crystal could fuck you up. Crystals are another one, but the neutral one for protection of the aura, clear quartz. That one don't really that don't really give people too many problems. Like if you dealing with the moldavite, then you may, and you're not ready for that. You can experience some things with certain crystals that are too powerful, too strong for you. Tiger eyes is good as well. That's good for beginners. What else? Amethyst. If you're an Aquarius, amethysts are generally good for Aquarius. Hematite is good, but that one can be pretty strong as well. But for protection of the aura, just stick with the black ones too. Tourmaline, obsidian, and onyx. Those would be your best bets. There's so many things for the protection of the aura. Now, I want to get into the mental. I'm not going to give all of my, because I'm developing. I have Nakhti Queen Mothership Order. I'm literally in real time developing my own body of magic system, mental science, intergalactic mentalism. I've produced a lot of that work. Some of that, I have folders of it. You can find a lot of the stuff is freely given. However, though the information is freely available, it doesn't mean you'll understand what it all means. That is what the Nakhti Queen Mothership Order is. It's not a secret society; it's a high society. So just because the information is freely available, if your vibration is not up to the level, you have to work your way up to a certain level of ascension, and then it will hit you and understand everything. But you can study it; it's freely for you. Um, and that is a gift from humanity, from the primordial mother, as well as uh, entities from the chaos intelligence realm, as well as myself as an octave of an enlightened being. And so that information is freely given. The folder is up on Google Drive, it's there. However, obviously there's some shadow banning stuff, and I don't like to manifest that stuff, but I know it's a reality. I can't act like and deny it. I cannot sit and deny that. I don't think it will always be that way, but there is a heavy ban on that information, because there are secret societies that are actively trying to study it and try to uncode and see what's there, and obviously stuff with surveillance or whatever, trying to monitor that stuff, because it is interdimensional and it's not earthbound. And there is stuff that I know about all of that, this whole structure of this universe, that transcends what earthbound information is available. I'm not bragging about it. I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm just saying it is what it is. And so with that comes peril. With that comes, uh, if it's there to enlighten humanity, if it's there for operating out of love, we are in a system where they do not want those type of things out. And it's sad. It's very sad, because this is a wicked system based on mind control. Now, not everything is wicked. I'm not saying planet Earth is wicked, or I'm just saying this system that tries to monitor what information gets filtered out to this ether, that is that's wickedness in my eyes. I've seen the things that they have done: removing of comments, deleting of videos, silencing of my YouTube stuff, doing all types of horrific things behind the scenes that you don't know what I've had to do with, just for speaking of certain topics, like people telling me that they can't purchase certain information, certain they can't take the site will be fine, everything is perfect, everything is fine, and they'll literally say like the site is unavailable, the site is available. With purchasing of certain material, whether that be the Tut language course, whether that just be even getting a simple read, like that level of what the inorganic ones try to do to, say, chosen ones, ascended masters, that is ridiculous. Now, nothing can stop the show. Nothing can stop what's happening, and nothing can stop what's coming and what will be. Nothing can stop me. But nonetheless, it's annoying as hell. It's very annoying. It is annoying. but we transcend. We always arise. There is nothing that anyone can do to those of us of the bloodline, those of us that are Elohim's children, and those of us who are of the chaos intelligence realm. We definitely can't be fucked with. That's like that. And in the end, we do kind of, we got a little arrogance or whatever, because we know what we know, but at the same time, and we are learning still, because even though we've been inducted to the chaos intelligence realm, we are still, compared to obviously primordial mother, the Godhead, we are still very much young souls. We may be ancient on this planet, we may be ancient compared to planet Earth, but in that realm, we are still obnoxious, so to speak. The obnoxious ghetto shamans. And it's okay. I take it because it happens. But I mean, we are viewed as, and we get reeled in, but we definitely can't be fucked with. That's on God. Like we nothing's going to happen to us. And if something do happen to us, we split in, we cracking this earth straight in half. Like the things that will happen to this planet if certain chaos intelligence realms, if certain chaos intelligence beings get killed or get harmed, is not even funny what is going to happen to this planet and to whoever's involved in it. That's a fact. And it's already locked and loaded. And so we go to bed at least knowing that, if not anything, like if someone was trying to, it's like, okay, we about to, it is what it is. We will ascend upon this planet with the power of infinite galaxies to destroy whoever comes against a chaos intelligence being, which is an ascended master, which is an enlightened being that's on this planet to raise the vibration of humanity. That's all they want to do. And we know how to create ideal parallel universes where those who did not have anything to do with it, they'll carry on. Like it's like the righteous will go into another parallel universe where it's already carbon copies of planet. I don't want to get too deep, but there's already dimensions being copied and migrated from different elements. Like we talked about this. I had put out in July that we were going to be switched into silos of consciousness, uh, in terms of our frequency and vibrations. That shit is true. It's true. And so you'll see what's happening now is that they're trying to suck as many souls as possible, and trying to, for those of us of a very high vibration, they're trying to do anything they can to bring us down. It's wild. It's full blown spiritual warfare. But we've already won. It's the outcome is already, for those who have already quantum leaped, already saw the future and already can see what's going to happen or how it's all going to play out. You already know how frequency and vibration works. You already know that the power, those working, that got God backing them and they got love backing them, they are more powerful than the millions that are not, that don't have that want to keep this world backwards, that want to keep humanity enslaved, that want to keep the mind enslaved. One person that got love in their heart, that got peace in their heart, that have joy in their heart, is more powerful than 10 million Satanists that hate humanity, that hate righteousness. That's just a fact. And y'all know, and everybody can play dumb, act like you don't know what I'm talking about. There are people that are literally getting paid by certain organizations to take out chosen ones. And I'm saying it openly. I know for a fact that's what's happening. It's been thousands of people already talking about it. So many people trying to bring attention to it. And it will be revealed. It will be revealed what is happening and what our government allowed to happen to innocent people. Yeah, I might have been saved. I might have came out unscathed, and I still deal with this shit. I'm still dealing with it. But and I might have escaped being a sacrifice and getting killed by these Satanist secret society occult. I might have, and they probably still planning their next hit. I don't know, but I know that it's happened to millions of people, and I know time's up, and I know it's about to be major fucking changes. I know that for a fact. It's about to be changes of the likes you have never seen. This is the age of divine feminine, and we talking about the age of divine, because what they have done, they have perverted so deep. They have used an essence of the divine feminine, that power of the dark matter, which is the divine feminine, for evil. They have done that for the last 2,000 years in a very secret way that most of humanity doesn't know about. And so what Yeshua tried to do was use the divine feminine to usher in heaven on earth. The kingdom of God is within. And so he was using the divine Shakti energy to reverse that, and they killed his ass for it. Put him on a cross and told everybody, eat his bread and blood and body as the crackers, and he's blood sacrificing and all this stuff. And it's a satanic ritual. And so that's what they did. But he was trying to reverse 2,000 years ago. What's happening now should have been happening 2,000 years ago, had that not have happened. But humanity, as per usual, was sleeping, just like they're sleeping now, trying to wake up, but they can't even see what's going on in front of them now. Just like they couldn't see it 2,000 years ago, what was going on with the deal system, contract system, mind control system. They couldn't see it then. He was trying to wake that up then and try to call out what was going on, and use that same energy of the intergalactic mentalism and original Atlantean Freemasonry from the Chaos Intelligence Room to usher in the age of the divine feminine then, through the kingdom of God and understanding of enlightenment then. And it didn't work because they killed him for it. Secret society, the Roman society, and Jewish secret societies killed him for it, and then planned a way to uh, harness that energy. It harnesses energy by creating state religion and Christianity and Catholic religion. And so that's what they did, and that's what they tried to do again. And they do that. It is. I don't want to get into that; it's too deep. Nonetheless, um, what you see happening now when we talk about this age of Christ consciousness, we're still working with the divine feminine, but reversing the polarity of what it was once used for. And so, for unfortunately, what you've seen with this system is use that dark matter, the energy of the Shakti, for a satanic agenda, because this energy is powerful and raw, but without construction of morality, because it's just galactic universal energy. It's just galactic power. And so you can take it and use it for good or bad, is what I'm saying. You can take it and use it for good or bad. The divine feminine. And that's what was done on this planet, was that it was taken by a certain group of people and used for control, used for power and control, and to suck uh, through the reverse polarities of fear and hatred, and separation and greed and delusion. And they have gotten addicted to that energy, the archons and the humans that have fell for that. And so obviously you cannot you can't just have too much low governing force. It's against the laws of the universe. It's against the laws of the universe to violate the laws of the universe. I don't care what they tell you about. You could do whatever you want to do without will. I don't give a shit what they told you. No. And so it reverses back. It balances back. It has to balance back. And so that's what we're doing now. It has to balance back, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And so primordial mother, the Godhead, has reversed and changed literally so many laws of this universe, to where you can't even derive off of spiritual credit of someone else, where certain sacrifices and rituals will not work if they are unjustified. Stuff will not work anymore. Like certain, and then certain entities, they have left the post because they want to give off. They want to get back in the good graces of the primordial of the Godhead. So they're like, I'm not going to take any more transactions to go feed. So I can, like, you know how you can pay a demon or something to with a rich with an altar or something to go and take someone out because you're jealous of them, or you don't like their business, or you feel threatened by their business. This is what people are doing. This is what low level people are doing, and so those things are not going to work anymore. People are wondering why their rituals are not working. The powers that be are wondering why is our rituals not working? Why are our sacrifices not working? Why are people waking up so much? Why what was going on? What's going on? Why are the spells breaking? Why is all these spells breaking? Why are people breaking all their MK Ultra? What the hell's going on? Yeah, the laws of the universe have changed to where certain stuff literally cannot. You don't deserve a free will planet. You don't you can't handle it. Clearly, you can't handle a free will planet. You had plenty of opportunity to evolve, and it didn't happen. And so now you're getting forced to evolve, and we're separating the chaff from the wheat. We got to do what we got to do. Innocent people, so many innocent lives were ruined because of weirdo ass low vibrational entities and low vibrational humans. And enough is enough. Enough is damn sure enough. Like, no. And again, I'm only speaking from experience because I know what was done to me. And so, yeah, I have a chip on my shoulder about what was done to me, even as an ascended master. Yes, I have a chip on my shoulder about that, about motherfuckers coming for me for no reason. Just me minding my business, wanting to love humanity and wanting to just teach and just and see justice be done for groups of people, see humanity happy. You know, like that shit hurt. You know, especially if it's your own people. Like, it was my own people. That shit hurts. And so I mean, you get over it. Shit happens, but it's a part of you sign up for the video game, right? You sign up, you wanted to experience, I wanted to experience this arbitrariness of the taxonomy in contrast. So you're going to have great pain. I felt great pain. I felt great pleasure. I felt equanimity. I felt transcendence. I felt great sorrow, great grief. It's a part of the human experience. So if you want to go to the next level, you don't become attached to any of that. I'm not attached to any of those moments. Even though there's that anger there, I know conceptually and spiritually that I cannot be attached to that experience or to those emotions, either one. If you really, 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 if I really, 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 really want to get to where I want to go. And so that's where I'm at with it. What are some mental ways that you can protect your aura? Just picturing a big ass reflector around you. You could do a big reflector mirror around you to reflect, like shades, kind of, to reflect negative energy that people try to send to you. You can also picture yourself, visualize yourself around a very powerful auric field. Remember I showed you them pictures? Let's go back. Picture yourself with a very powerful egg like this one around you, very, very powerful, that's impenetrable, but also put a crown on your head, like a helmet. Like, think of this, but as well, put a crown on your head that cannot be penetrated with psychic attacks and psychic thoughts and DEWs and V2K. You can do that, but think of a very powerful shield around you at all times. It's protected by you could put any, it could be any color that you want. You pick your, like, don't be afraid to paint outside the lines, the color outside the lines when it comes to this type of stuff, when it comes to mental science and creating your own mental sciences. It could be any color, because people say you gotta be white. Why gotta be white? It could be any fucking color you want. Your helmet could look your psychic protection helmet could look any way you want. But I would say for the outer layers, you may want this solid. I do know that you can build upon that. So say you have a solid shell. What breaks up radio waves is things that are not so, like, when there's other waves interacting with it. So you also want to charge your field, but if you also want to picture like another toroidal field that may be jagged on after this one, that can break up radio waves as well. It'll make it harder to penetrate if it's not so solid. You want a solid one, I would say. I would say, but sometimes, or maybe you want to do that around the house where you build, where you start to, you can even develop I don't want to get that deep. Yeah, you can go that deep. You might even want to make a sigil for yourself. You make your own sigils. This is a day and age we're in. You're making your own sigils. You're making your own development. You know, it's like, that's what I love about being a chaos esotericist. It's like, I just make up my own stuff. And it works. And people know it works. It works. I make up my it's so fun. But this is the mind science, and you got to know. You have to know, not think, not believe. You have to know that you are safe, that you are protected, you are fine, that no one can fuck with you. You got to know that who you are. Know thyself. You know, you have to know. Say your first and last name. I am. Da-da-da. Say your first and last name, and say, I am the best. I am amazing. I am protected. I am love. I am peace. I radiate joy. Whatever it is, and say it and know it, and be it. See the future and be the future. Be it. If you say, if you want more love, be love. If you want more peace, be peace. If you want more, and people reverse engineer this. And that's why you see the world. That's why you see all these wars and you see all this. People say the opposite. You want more power, be power. Okay, then you find out, well, how do you keep power? You got to mind control people. You got to You want more money, you got to, these type of things. People reverse engineer these things, but I can tell you the reverse engineering is never as equal footing as the higher vibration, higher frequency. They tried it's not the same. It would never be the same. You have to borrow. If you have to steal and borrow energy from another person, you're gonna have to pay it back. You can't do it. It's illegal in the eyes of the galaxy. Every mind is universe. The universe is mental. Every mind is universe. You have your own gifts. You have your own surmountable, infinite amount of energy that you can recharge at will at any time. If you don't know how to do that, you ask someone who does know how to do it how to do it. You don't try to steal them and kill them for it. If something was ever to happen to me, you think I would ever literally let people ride up off of my energy if that was to happen? Especially now that I know what's going on and who's involved in it. I will never let them ride off my energy. I will bring, oh my gosh, the wrath of God. I know exactly who tried to do it. I will destroy these people. I can destroy them now. I just don't have the, I don't put my mind in. I don't like that frequency. I don't like that vibration. I boomerang it back and keep it moving. I return the sender, keep it moving. I ain't got time to be thinking about all that. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm just trying to complete a body of work and do a certain thing on this planet Earth, and that get cut short because of somebody else's stupidity and jealousy and low self-esteem and low life, and because they feel threatened and scared, no, I'm not having it. I am not having it, and I know God not having it. They thinking they got away with what they did to other bodhisattvas and other prophets and other angels and other messengers and other ascended masters, and they think they have been doing this tracking and hunting bloodlines down like damn lions. You hunt and hunt, like you hunt a fish. They have been tracking and hunting us down like damn animals, us of a certain bloodline. You see it all the time. And shit, the biggest example, if you don't understand what a occult ritual looks like, was the situation with George Floyd. Wake up. Okay, I'm not, when they say a fentanyl addict, whatever, he did this to the black woman, did this. I know I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, I know you got to understand what an occult ritual looks like when someone is tracked from a bloodline. Look at it from the spiritual sense. He wasn't innocent. Yeah, I'm sure he was doing some sharm shit. They say he was holding up that he was he was robbing people and stuff. He probably was doing some horrific sharm shit. But I'm saying they came after him. It was already planned in advance, just like Sandra Bland was planned in advance. It was a hit. Was it Breonna Taylor? These are people. These are Black Americans whose bloodline have been tracked. They know who these people are. They plan it all out, do a whole ritual on it, feed off of the energy, and it gets all everybody's somehow. Say her name, say her name, say her name, say her name. I can't walk. What is it? What they say? I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't. Come on, you know what a fucking ritual looks like nowadays? Every time they do it every fucking election year or every summer. Wake up. That's why I don't feed into it. I was like, oh, they doing when are y'all gonna wake up? When are we gonna start reversing that shit? Like, really? Like, no, we coming back for what's mine. And like the biggest, the one that really, honestly, that I think like that really the most horrific energy from that I've ever felt in my life, that I know that somebody got to pay for. I don't care what nobody say. The most one that I know that is the anger was that situation that happened with Kanika Jenkins. That and Aaliyah, believe it or not. It's a lot of wrath coming from them, from the ethers to this universe, from whoever was involved in that, and to this planet, from what happened to Kanika Jenkins and Aaliyah. Of course, there's a lot of Black women. It's a lot of Black women that end up sacrificing and end up in horrific situations. That's why so many go missing, right? But what happened to Kanika Jenkins? Oh, good God. And I felt that when it happened. I'm telling you, what happened in 2017, right? 2018, 2017, 2016, 2017, 2018. And I'm telling you, like, I remember when that shit happened, I said, something not right. So this is horrific. It was the most, like, it's something they should not have done. It's like, what did y'all do? That's the first thing I said. I said, who did that? and I knew what it was, and I saw it spiritually, and I felt her. That's why so many millions of people was talking about it. Remember, it got like millions of views. It was getting millions and millions and millions of views on YouTube, and millions and millions. It was just everywhere. It was just It was like she just wanted us to know, like, what I felt her saying, like, what did y'all like? I didn't deserve this. Like, what? Why would y'all do it? Nobody deserves it. But it's like that was just too much. I remember all the conspiracy theories around it. And remember all the other people who died, trying to bring light to it, what happened and all that. And it was trying to, like, remember Zach and all that. I remember thinking, like, spiritually as a clairvoyant, I remember thinking, oh, somebody fucked up. And that's how I felt. I felt that with Aaliyah too. Remember Mary J. Blige got on there talking about what happened with her, and then the clip was missing, and Mary J. Blige never talked about it since. I knew then too. I said, "Ooh, ooh, chickens hate gonna come home to roost." Ooh, Thomas Sankara too, Tupac. Ooh, believe it or not, it's gonna be hell to pay for what happened to y'all. Think y'all running around talking about thinking somebody died for you on some cross and thinking somebody. No, that was a murder. Y'all better wake up. It's hell to pay from that too, from what they did to Yeshua. Y'all the ones humans are running around here thinking it's all good and dandy. That shit ain't good and dandy in the universe. If God sends a messenger or an angel or a prophet or ascended master to give y'all information, and then y'all so damn sleep and I don't know what the hell y'all so mind controlled and sleep, or so wicked that y'all would sell your own people out at a drop of a dime, or set y'all people up to get killed. Nah, man, hell nah. And it's happening so many times. It's happening in 2024. But now what they doing is drugging motherfuckers and MK Ultra and people, and they go crazy. Yep, that's what they did with young Pharaoh. And we grew up together. I'm telling you, I know a lot behind the scenes with that family. But I've known that boy since we were 10 years old. I know a lot. I ain't gonna speak about it too much. I'll probably do, maybe one day I will, but there's a lot behind the scenes that happened with that. And I personally think that they got to him. People, they laugh and say, "Oh, he deserved it" or whatever. But nah, man. We got similar bloodlines. It's a bloodline they after, and it's not always about the race, because there's white people they do this to too. Max Spears. It's white people they do this to too, from the same bloodline, because they have certain light codes. It transcends a race. It's about the bloodline, and they do this to whoever got a certain light code that's ushering in. That's talking about ushering in this age of enlightenment through the age of the divine feminine, as well as Christ consciousness. Anybody that's truly on the side of righteousness and love, oh, they gonna come for you. But okay, it's like you could be an automaton or a baby soul human and be filled with love and light, right? That don't mean they're gonna come for you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like people with light codes of the angelic realm that are literally not there. They look like humans, but they're not humans. They have come through a womb. They may even look like they have flesh or whatever, but they are not humans. It is very easy for entities and extraterrestrials and interdimensional beings and angels to descend in human flesh. It's very easy for us to do that. And so that's we're the ones that's getting hunted like a pack, like of wolves. We're the ones that's getting thrown in programs and killed and all this stuff like that. We're talking about those ones. And believe it or not, a lot of them happen to be in Black American lineage. They're in a lot of Black American lineage. Thomas Sankara was a bodhisattva. Thomas Sankara was one of them. He's from Africa. Sure was. Okay. Winnie Mandela. She was also one of them. She's from South Africa. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, she's just trying to be xenophobic. No, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, in my culture, I'm obviously Black American, but I know in my own bloodline, based on what I've seen in my 32 years of living, and what's been happening, they've been coming after a lot of Black Americans. We know so many that Malcolm X was a bodhisattva. We know so many. Fred Hampton didn't even get a chance. Bodhisattva. Darren Seals. Corinne Gaines. It's so many that didn't even get a chance. Soon as they opened their damn mouth, they was running around like light beings. Their auras was immeasurable, at least at 450, 450, 525, 528 hertz. At least at 400. Yeah, you're on the list. Yeah, they're coming for you. But we have to be aware. Awareness is key. That's all. Just be aware of who you are. And that's how you circumnavigate a lot of that. Awareness, shit, that's pretty much all you need. Go and ground yourself out in the trees. Make sure you get some nature and oxygen, and you'll be fine. Pretty much. You really don't need no ritual. You really don't need nothing but your mental sciences. Know who you are. Know that the kingdom of God is within. Say these things. Know that the kingdom of God is within. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Say these things. Whatever I do, it shall prosper. My leaf shall not wither. I should be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water. Say these things. Speak very high of yourself. Don't have low self. Speak very high. I know what it's like to have low self-esteem. And so, again, as far as the mental science to protect your aura, just once again, visualize protection. Visualize your toroidal field being so powerful, so pure, so beautiful, knowing that no one can penetrate it. Make sure you boomerang anything back. Protect your space. Picture even if you have to build, you could build an energetic mental shield around the whole house wherever you're at. And again, vibrations of love and vibrations of peace, vibrations of enlightenment, vibrations of intellectualism, because those vibrations are inherently higher than fear, inherently higher than hate. They are not polarities of the same degree of spectrum. Do not let people tell you that. That is a lie, and that is why motherfuckers is getting a wake-up call today and learning the hard way now. It was never the same of degree of, they're not the same two sides of the same coin or duality. No, that shit is inherently lower. If you put on this planet Earth, on a free will planet, you have a duty and a right to yourself and to your soul to ascend. Yes, pleasure is good. Yes, we understand pleasure. Of course. But nah, y'all getting addicted to hurting kids and stuff. Nah, y'all motherfuckers is out your mind. Nah, man. And granted, it's really not like people say, oh, it's not none of your business. Everybody gotta worry about themselves. Yeah, everybody gotta worry about themselves. But I was worried about myself. I was focused on myself. And motherfuckers came for me. So now what? You brought this shit to me. What if you are worried about yourself and then working on your soul, working on your ascension, and then motherfuckers see you look at you and try to come for you? What do? What if those are Satanists? What if those are the people that are stealing other people's energy? Then what? Now you can come on. And so yes, theoretically, yes, everybody should be minding their business. Worried about. That's what I love to do. I love to mind my business. That's all I do is mind my business and worry about my motherfucking self. Yeah, I might look at some gossip, celebrity gossip and shit, But nah, motherfuckers came for me. I don't care if it was just a ritual or it was just telling us, oh, it's just a ritual you go through. Nah, motherfucker, y'all was gonna kill me. And if I wasn't who I was, then what? If I'm not that I am, then what? Y'all would have walked off into the sunset and not gave a damn about what happened to me. So no. I was minding my business. It's not my fault I'm gifted, that I'm clairvoyant, and I can see shit that's happening and who's doing it and who's. Come on now. Shit, leave me be. I don't do nothing but write my shit. I'm talking my shit. The shit's all shattered. Ain't nobody really paying attention to it. Ain't nobody really watching it. So I know they'll watch it eventually. I know most of the stuff that I prophesied has come true already. Even weeks before it happens, years before it happens. Most everything that I have ever said, I've been prophesizing a lot on this channel on my live videos, and everything has been coming to pass. Not even weeks. I told y'all it's literally like I say something, and then the next week, 2 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, it's gonna come to pass. And so it is what it is. I'm going to get up off here because I didn't want to do this long ass video. I know better than that. Talking this damn long. I want to come back and do. I wanted to talk about frequencies and the root chakra that hip hop is geared towards. The 808. I'm going to talk about the 808 and the Muladhara chakra. I'm kind of spent though. Plus, I need to work. I need to do some readings. Oh, matter of fact, speaking of readings, let me share my link. And so, if you guys want to do readings, you can hit me up here. This phone number you can call. If you want a live chat, live reading, you can go here. And or you can just get pre-recorded through Etsy if you want to pre-record it and for me to send it to you. You can do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. Or you can just book off my website. We could do video. Or we can do a live phone call or live chat. It's up to you. So y'all be easy. I'll talk to you later. Bye.